And what is going on, guys? UCF Jaguar back from GenJag.com, and yesterday the Jaguars cut their rosters from 90 players to 53 players. So let's go ahead and go over the final roster.
Duval. If you from a city, holla Duval. If you rep my city, holla Duval.
So at the quarterback position, no real surprise here. The Jaguars keep their three guys with Blake Bortles, Chad Henne, and Brendan Allen. So you move on to the running backs, and there's no real surprise here. They kept their four running backs with Leonard Fournette, Chris Ivory, TJ Yeldon, and Corey Grant. Those were all pretty much expected players to make the team. I thought Corey Grant really played his way onto the roster this offseason. And then we kept the one fullback in Tommy Bohannon. So we decided to release Marquez Williams and our 7th round draft pick. So I fully expect him to be on the Jaguars practice squad. But at the tight end position, we only kept 3 guys. Mercedes Lewis, Ben Koyak, and then Neil Sterling, which was a surprise to me. But the Jaguars put Michael Rivera, the free agent tight end we got from Oakland. They put him on the injured reserve. He's most likely going to return at some point in the year, and it'll be interesting to see the Jaguars make some moves to try to bring in another tight end, because he was really the only big receiving threat that we had at the tight end position. Now, Neil Sterling has some wide receiver experience from college, but he doesn't have the kind of NFL experience that Michael Rivera has. But at wide receiver, we decided to keep 6 receivers as expected, with Allen Robinson, Marquise Lee, Allen Hurns, Dede Westbrook, and then Aurelius Ben for special teams, and then Keelan Cole. So Keelan Cole, an undrafted dude, made the roster. He really impressed the coaches throughout training camp, preseason, whatnot. And then the Jaguars, when it comes to Shane Wynn, they didn't necessarily cut him, but I mean they did cut him. But if he does clear through waivers, they're gonna put him on injured reserve, so he could pretty much be in the Jaguars training or camp with us next year. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops with him. The offensive line, we kept the usual starters with left tackle Cam Robinson, Patrick Omame, Brandon Linder, AJ Cann, and Jeremy Parnell. Some of the backups that we kept were Earl Watford, the free agent acquisition from Arizona, who started in 10 games last season. He played his first game of the preseason last Thursday against the Falcons. He was playing at left guard. They kept Tyler Shatley as a backup center. Jeremy Putasi, they've also kept, and yeah, that's all they actually kept when it comes to backups. So they have 5 starting. Oh, actually, Josh Wells. Josh Wells is a swing tackle. So those are the 4 backups. They also got the 5 stars in there. Definitely probably expecting them to try to make some kind of moves to try to upgrade this offensive line. But in other news, when it comes to Luke Bowanko, they traded him away for an undisclosed pick. It's probably like a 5th, 6th, 7th rounder. There's no telling what we got. It would be great if we got a 5th rounder, but I think it's probably going to be a 6th, 7th kind of round pick. But defensive line, we kept 10 players. Lorente McCray, who can play defensive end and outside linebacker. I expect him to come in to rush the passer on a lot of passing situations if the other guys are tired. Dante Fowler, Stephon Charles, Yannick Ngakoue, Sheldon Day, Calais Campbell, Duwan Smoot, Avery Jones, Michael Bennett, and Malik Jackson. So, a bunch of names right there. All these guys will be getting some playing time as they're always cycling in new defensive linemen throughout the game. Linebackers, we kept 5 guys. I expect us to get 6, but the starters: Miles Jack, Telvin Smith, Paul Posluszny, then Hayes Poulard, and then Blair Brown. So Hayes Poulard, I really like him. He's a really physical player, and I like the kind of demeanor he plays with. And also Blair Brown, he was our 5th round draft pick. That was to be expected, but these guys are going to get a bunch of playing time on special teams. At cornerback, the Jaguars kept 5 guys between Jalen Ramsey, AJ Boye, Aaron Colvin. Those are our 3 starters. No big surprise there. Tyler Patman, I thought he played his way onto the team this training camp. And also Jalen Myrick. That was a real surprising, keep by the Jaguars. Now, I probably expect them to find an upgrade for Jalen Myrick and maybe put Jalen Myrick on the practice squad. But Jalen Meyer, he really didn't have that good of a camp. He has blazing speed as he was the fastest defensive back at the most recent combine, but he just really didn't show much this offseason. So now we go to the safety position. We kept our starters between Barry Church to Sean Gibson, and then the backups with Jared Wilson and Peyton Thompson. So those were all to be expected. Those guys provide just some good depth, and Peyton Thompson you can play him at slot cornerback or at nickel cornerback if you're in like a real bind. But special teams, this was a gimme between Jason Myers, who made all his kicks last game, had a really good game, Brad Norton, and Matt Overton. So when we look at the roster as a whole, I definitely expect us to look to upgrade the offensive line, look to upgrade that number 5 cornerback spot, and maybe move Jalen Meyer to that practice squad, and maybe even potentially some interior defensive line help. So it will be interesting to see what kind of roster moves they make. I believe today is the time that they are able to claim their waiver wire guys. So definitely keep my eye out on that. I'll probably make a video tomorrow if we do wind up getting any new players. So be on the lookout for that. But that's pretty much all I got. Let me know what you guys think of the roster. And this is UCF Jaguar with JinJag.com. I'm out.